Well, in this video, got some WHL with the Western Hockey League and the Calgary Hitmen. Some news to share. Hi there, it's Brett Hornby here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And how about a news story after work during the week as a bonus, in addition to when I usually upload on the weekends. So as I always say, if you want to follow along with this Calgary sports fan's journey, just make sure you like, subscribe. But a couple stories that I'll talk about. Actually, originally I was only planning on talking about this one story, but I did see another news story with the Calgary Hitmen. So first we'll talk about the WHL, and just as I personally speculated, when I talked about WHL updates and then I do my Calgary Hitmen in 6 game recaps, and this will tie into the next story I'll touch on, that the WHL, as I speculated, after the regular season, that is it. There will not be any WHL playoffs, as the headline says. WHL announces 2020-21 regular season to conclude following the regular season, and that's pretty much what I expected. I mean, it's the ongoing crisis and pandemic with COVID-19 that it felt like the WHL barely was able to have a return to play plan and be able to operate, have a 24-game regular season, and then with the uncertainty with the other leagues, how are you going to have a playoffs, especially with the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League? They've been on and off as their outbreaks. And actually the Ontario Hockey League actually has not returned to play at all this season. And actually the Ontario Hockey League eventually announced that they are cancelling the 2020-21 season. So the Ontario Hockey League did not play at all. And then recently I made a video talking about the Memorial Cup, which actually the Ontario Hockey League was slated to host this season. Wasn't officially hosted. It was either going to go down to the Sault Ste. Marie Sioux Hounds or the Oshawa Generals to be the host city, and the Memorial Cup has been cancelled altogether. So essentially, the WHL, after the regular season, it's going to be, that's it. There will be no playoffs. I mean, I felt this season for junior hockey was all about getting games in for the players. It's still going to definitely make a very, very interesting NHL draft, especially with lack of games playing, especially if you're in the Ontario Hockey League and the Junior Hockey League, especially trying to exist during COVID-19, and then with the junior hockey funding model, definitely makes it a lot more difficult when they don't operate without fans, as their revenue is definitely a lot more gate-driven than is with the major leagues. I mean, they're still taking a hit with no fans in attendance, but they don't get that big lucrative TV contract. But that's that WHL Live was like the first new thing this season where you're able to watch WHL games. So once the season is done, that's it. There'll be no playoffs, and this pretty much confirms what I was personally speculating. I don't think it was really a bold prediction, as that I doubt there's going to be playoffs, especially with the uncertainty and no fans in attendance. And then once the Memorial Cup was officially canceled for the second straight season, I didn't think there was going to be any point to having any playoffs, especially with the regular season getting pushed well into May, when usually it's the Victoria Day weekend when the Memorial Cup has been awarded. So the WHL 2021 playoffs has been canceled. But the second part of the story that I'll talk about concerning the Calgary Hitmen, as a couple weeks ago, the Calgary Hitmen played their last games up till Monday, April the 5th. Well, unfortunately, one player on the Calgary Hitmen tested positive for COVID, which has definitely been going around in general, that the Calgary Hitmen definitely have ceased operations in terms of any activities. Well, now the WHL announced that there'll be changes to the schedule, as now the Calgary Hitmen have been cleared to return to play and practice. So essentially what is going to happen is that the Calgary Hitmen player has been cleared to play after the 14-day isolation period. It's only one player that tested positive, and they didn't release the name, or maybe it's underage, or definitely different. Talking about junior hockey, so I don't know who that player was that tested positive. But the Calgary Hitmen and the Central Division schedule has been revised, starting from April 22nd until May the 6th. So the Calgary Hitmen, this is following off from my last episode where I did my Calgary Hitmen in 6. This will be the next and final episode, knowing there won't be a regular season. there'll be a lot more games compressed in because there were a lot more talking in the last episode about games that didn't happen. So the next game that the Calgary Hitmen will actually get to play, and they were actually scheduled to have a bye if everything went as planned, is the next game will be on Friday, April the 23rd, as Calgary will be taking on the Lethbridge Hurricanes actually this upcoming weekend. The game on Friday will be in Calgary or at the 7G Sportsplex. They also rescheduled the Mazinet Tigers to take on the Edmonton Oil Kings, so I'll put the link in the description for this story. And then Saturday, April 24th, the Calgary Hitmen will be taking on the Lethbridge Hurricanes in Lethbridge. That'd be a 7 p.m. puck drop. And then on Sunday, April 25th, when the Lethbridge Hurricanes come back to Calgary, that game will be a 7 p.m. puck drop. And then on Friday, April 30th, the Calgary Hitmen will be taking on the Edmonton Oil Kings. The game will be in Calgary, 7 p.m. puck drop. And then on Saturday, May the 1st, Calgary will be not playing that day, but they'll be playing on Sunday, May the 2nd, as they'll be going to play the Red Deer Rebels in Calgary. And then the Calgary Hitmen's last regular season game will be on Tuesday, May the 4th. That'll be a 7 p.m. puck drop against the Red Deer Rebels in Red Deer. So actually, the Calgary Hitmen will not actually get to play 24 games in the season due to the, testing positive and suspended weekend activities. The Lethbridge Hurricanes will still get to play 24 games. The Edmonton Oil Kings, Mazinet Tigers, and Red Deer Rebels will each get to play 23 games when it comes to the Central Alberta Division, but the Calgary Hitmen actually will only get to play 21 games. Everything is said and done, so all these next games will be in on the next, and will be the last episode to wrap up Season 3 of my Calgary Hitmen 6. They also mentioned the BC Division rescheduled the games and added the game on Friday, April 30th, when it comes to the BC Division and the teams in British Columbia. Actually, none of the teams will actually get to play 24 games, as the Canada's Blazers will only get to play 22 games. That's the team that Connor Zary is on, first overall round pick. But that first round pick for the Calgary Flames this past draft. Well, the Kelowna Rockets definitely got hit hard with COVID. They're actually only going to get to play 16 games, and then the Prince George Cougars, Vancouver Giants, and Victoria Royals will only play 22 games. So, on paper, at the start of their season, it was a 24-game regular season, but given what has happened, they're only going to get as many games in as they can. So at least the Calgary Hitmen are cleared to play and get back on the ice and have a new schedule. So that will be reflected in the next episode of my Calgary Hitmen 6. There'll definitely be a lot more games, because in the last episode, just to try to keep up with my schedule, there was only 2 games I actually talked about that actually happened, and the rest were on pause because of the COVID outbreak, but I guess I'll make up for it in the next episode. So I guess what do you think about, I'm not surprised, and I pretty much expected it, that the WHL was going to say we're not going to have a playoffs this season. I said this season in junior hockey in general is more about just getting games in for all the, aspiring future NHL players for the upcoming NC draft, which is definitely going to be the most uncertain, unpredictable draft of all time. Making jazz that up in late July. So as I want to close out, as I say, if you want to follow along with this Calgary sports fan's journey, home to Flames, Hitmen, Roughnecks, and Stampeders. I mostly do talk Calgary sports on my YouTube channel, but I also do a variety of non-sports content, like personal vlogs, attempt to comedy, and also do share experience that I'm on the road or at a sporting event. And I am going to say, once the hockey season's over, I will have a little time in the summer to make some of my secondary content. And, I've also been doing a little more on-the-go vlogging, experimenting with that. So if that all sounds like it'd be interesting to watch, to follow along the Calgary sports fans journey, you just make sure to subscribe. I also have other social media down in the description below. I'm just one more way to hitting 300 subscribers on my YouTube channel, but I want to keep going beyond 300 as I want to continue to keep growing. It'd be nice if I hit the thresholds to start monetizing my content. Enjoy making videos, but this definitely be a nice hobby / side hustle as well to continue on and tell you my love for Calgary sports and anything else that I can make a video on. So I just want to say, let's go Hitmen, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.